most of the world's religions, including the ones that claim to be the true religions, are simply control mechanisms for the final deception. They draw you in, they basically make you feel like you have to be part of that organization, whatever it may be, and they tie your salvation to how many times you show up to church, or how many times you give your tithe and offering, or how involved you are in that church. They try to tie your salvation to that. Jesus was a carpenter. He never built a church. He never built any building where people go in together and gather. That should tell you everything you need to know right there. And I think Jesus did that on purpose because he wanted you to know that it's not about a business or a church. That's not how you grow spiritually with buildings. And so you have to ask yourself, why are all these organized churches building and expanding in 501c3, and the list goes on and on and on? It's because they're not real. They're not the real church. The real church is inside of all of us. The kingdom of heaven is within. It's all of us like-minded people coming together and helping one another. Okay? That's what this is about. Sean says Christianity is different. I'm talking about Christianity specifically. That organized religion, the organized Christianity. That's what I'm talking about. Where they have buildings and a bottom line and a budget and 501c3. I'm not talking about other religions. I'm not trying to say that the other religions are just variations of the truth, because they're not. The one true religion is true Christianity, but we're not given true Christianity from these big box religions. We're not given that. We're given a false, fake religion or fake Christianity. Okay? Because what's happening is they're so focused on all the things that Jesus wasn't focused on. Okay? Jesus wasn't focused on all of the things that they focus on in these modern religions. The modern religions are trying to go above and beyond the simple teachings of Jesus. They're trying to second guess or reinvent the wheel. And in doing so, they're falling right into the hands of the beast. So that's what I'm really trying to say here. I'm definitely not bashing Christians here, because I'm a Christian. What I'm saying is it's the form that we've been given of worship. It's all wrong. And they've got us spinning our wheels, focused on church attendance and tithe and offering and buildings and building churches and budgets. And the giveaway is that there's what's called a tax exemption. Basically, in order to receive tax exemption, in other words, not have to pay taxes, you have to fall under what's called the 501c3 tax exemption for churches and other organizations that basically are non-profit, right? But along with that designation comes rules. The rules are you're not allowed to speak about political things. You're not allowed to promote candidates from the pulpit. You're not allowed to speak against anything that has been made law in the United States. So, for instance, same-sex marriage. You're not allowed to speak against that from the pulpit because that is lawful now. You see how this works? So, what actual teeth does a church have if it can't speak about the things that God does not like? That's where we're at. And almost all of these large organizational churches, the large ones, I'm talking nationwide churches, fall under this 501c3. And the threat is always looming over their head that if they go off the script, they could lose their tax exemption, and therefore they would be put out of business, because it is in fact a business. Make no mistake, these are businesses. Okay, where does all this money come from to do all this stuff? A lot of it's donations, but they're basically mind controlling people into giving the donations, and then they don't have to pay taxes on that. And then this is how the world goes around with these religions. If you really sit down and be honest with yourself and think about this and set aside emotion, set aside everything, don't attack the messenger. If you just really do research on this, everything that I'm telling you on this show today is absolutely true. Now, this isn't a free ticket to walk away from God and never do anything good for someone, or this isn't a free ticket to be lawless or immoral. Your morality should increase. You should be better at giving and doing, because now the shackles of the fake Christianity have been loosed, and now you can be a real Christian. Instead of thinking about when the next time you're going to be able to make time to go to church, maybe you can do something different. Use your gift that God gave you specifically, instead of falling into a cookie cutter gift that they're telling you have to do to meet these qualifications to be such and such or this and this. You can go on your own walk with the Lord. You don't need a middleman, okay? So it's just the opposite. My faith has increased 100-fold. I'm still a human being. I still make mistakes. But my faith has increased because the shackles have been removed, you see. And so you try to walk right